Okay, I'm going to read part of Acts 17, and I'm going to unpack it a little bit because I just found this out and I find this interesting, and I hope you do too. But no one really watches my videos, so it doesn't really matter. The God who made the world and everything in it is the Lord of heaven and earth, and does not live in temples built by human hands. Let's stop there. In ancient Greece and Rome, I would imagine, at least in ancient Greece, they built temples for the gods to live in, and they would and hopefully they would sustain their community with what they need. That's what this verse is alluding to. It's saying the God he worships is the real God of the world and everything in it. And in 25 it says, and is not served by human hands. They would give ritual sacrifices. I think we all know that. As if he needs anything. He's being facetious here, I think. He's making fun of the people who he's talking to, the Greeks. Rather, he himself gives everyone life and breath and everything else. From one man he made all nations. I think he's talking about Abraham here. That they should inhabit the whole earth. And he marked out appointed times in history and boundaries of their lands. God did this so that the whole world, so that they would seek him and perhaps reach out to him and find him. He is not far away from any one of us. We all know that. Everyone who watches my videos knows that. If God isn't far away from you. He's not far away from your mess. Turn around, there he is. Ask for him, there he is. That's the Adam version of what Luke is saying here. For in him we live and move and have our being. As some of your poets have said, we are his offspring. Now, this quote is interesting. If you look it up, it was written by Athenaeus. Athenaeus? Something like that. It was written for the invocation of Zeus's temple. I think. The invocation of Zeus is what he is what he's taking it from. So it was written by a Greek poet, and Luke stole it to use in Acts to make a point. Therefore, since we are God's offspring, we should not think that the divine being is gold or silver or stone. That goes back to when people thought they had to have a graven image of God. Remember back in Exodus when they built a calf? What they were doing is they were going back to their to the beliefs they had for 400 years in Egypt. That's what people are doing. Everything old is new again. That's what they're doing here. They're making they're making statues of these gods and worshiping them, hoping they would sustain the village. Therefore, since we are God's offspring, we should not think that he is divine being like gold or stone or silver, an image made by human design and skill. In the past, God overlooked such ignorance. But now, he commands all people everywhere to repent. For he has set a day when he will judge the world with justice by the man he has appointed. He has given design proof of this to everyone by raising him from the dead. He's talking about Jesus here. I believe that's clear. When they heard about the resurrection of the dead, some of them sneered, but others said, "Why, we want to hear you again on this subject." At that, Paul left the council, and some of the people became followers of Paul and believed. Among them was Hardward, Dionysius, a member of another hard word. I'm not. Areop Agrippius. Anyway. Also, a woman named Damaris, and among numerous others. I went down that rabbit hole to say this. Don't take the Bible out of context. In him we live and move and have our being is in the Bible. That does not mean you can take it out of context and tell people God is everywhere. He is everywhere, but all roads don't lead to him. There's one road that leads to God, and in that road we live and move and have our being. Have a nice evening.